So far, we have talked about budget lines. We have also talked about indifference curves. But in this lecture, we are going to talk about optimality of the choice of the consumer. So, what is the optimal choice of the consumer? Which is the bundle that the consumer is going to choose given the budget constraint and the indifference curves? We say that the point where the budget line and the indifference curves are tangential to each other is the point of optimality for the consumer, and that will be the bundle the consumer will be choosing because it will be affordable as well as it will be giving higher utility to the consumer. Now let's reason it out. Suppose the budget line is given and we have also been given indifference curves. Now point A is going to be the point of optimal choice because at this point the indifference curves and the budget lines, they are tangential to each other. But why is this so? Suppose we take an indifference curve like U3. Now each bundle that is lying on this line U3 is not affordable by the consumer. Why? Because it lies outside the budget set. It's not lying in the budget side. It's on the right of the budget line, and hence none of these bundles are affordable, and hence they are out of question. If we look at the indifference curves U1, there are some bundles which are lying in the budget set, therefore they are within the budget constraint, and there are some bundles which lies in this region which are outside the budget constraint. However, there are some bundles which are lying above this and are still affordable. So the bundles which will be lying in this region are still affordable by the consumer. There is a whole portion of the budget line which is lying above this indifference curve. Therefore, as a result, any bundle that will be lying on this shaded region is going to provide higher utility to the consumer and will be affordable as well. Higher utility because it will be lying on a higher indifference curve because it lies to the right of U1. So we say that any bundle that lies on U1 cannot be the point of optimal choice because though the bundles may be affordable, but it might not provide higher utility to the consumer because there's a whole portion of the budget line that is lying above the indifference curve. If we look at an indifference curve like that of U2, clearly point A is a point of optimal choice. Why? Because first, it is affordable by the consumer because it lies in the budget line, and second, it gives maximum utility to the consumer. Why? Because all the bundles that are lying on the budget line except the bundle A and all the bundles that lies on the budget set, all of them lies on the left hand side of the indifference curve U2, and clearly all of them are going to lie on a lower indifference curve and provide a lower utility to the consumer. Thus, we say that point A is the point of optimality where the slope of the budget line is equal to the slope of the indifference curve. Basically, what we mean is that the budget line and the indifference curves are going to be tangential to each other. While we are giving it a mathematical format, we say that the slope of the budget line, which is minus P1 by P2, will be equal to the slope of the indifference curve, which is MRS. And hence, we say that for optimality, MRS should be equal to minus P1 by P2. Now we are going to look into some exceptional cases. Now one on the left shows kinky tastes. Now clearly, as we can see, the point of optimality is this point. Why? Because this bundle is affordable, it lies on the budget line of the consumer, and also all the bundles that lies on the budget line except this bundle, and all the bundles that lies in the budget set, they lie on a lower indifference curve as compared to this. And as a result, we say that this point A is the point of optimality of the consumer. However, we cannot say here that the slope of the budget line is equal to the slope of the indifference curve. Why? Because here indifference curves, they are not differentiable at all points. We do not have smooth indifference curves, and as a result we cannot apply calculus out here. Therefore, we just say that in this case the point of optimality is A because of the reason that we have described. Now if we look at the case of more than one tangency, now here the indifference curves are smooth, but they are neither convex nor concave. Now as a result, we might have more than one points of tangency. Now let's look into 3 points. Now this point, this is the point where the slope of the budget line is equal to the slope of the indifference curve. Similarly, this is also the point of tangency, and this is also the point of tangency. However, not all 3 of them are optimal bundles. Why? Because if we look at points this one and point this, we say that they are optimal bundles because they lie on a higher indifference curve compared to this which lies on a lower indifference curve. Therefore, in this case, we have 2 points of optimality, though we have 3 points where the budget line and the indifference curves, they are tangential to each other. Now we will look into another case where we get boundary as our optimum point. So we have the indifference curves given. So these are the indifference curves. So these are the indifference curves. This is the budget line. Now as you can see, the indifference curves are such that we get this as our point of optimality, because this is the point which is within the budget constraint also, and it lies on the highest indifference curve. Because if we take any other indifference curve, suppose we take an indifference curve like this here, clearly the portion of the, there will be a portion of the budget line which will be lying above it. If we take indifference curve here, again there will be a portion of the budget line which will be lying above it, and therefore there will be certain portions, certain bundles which will be affordable as well as will be lying on a higher indifference curve. As a result, we say that this point A is the point of optimality. So as you can see, point A is the point of optimality where the amount of good 2 that the consumer is consuming is equal to 0, and the consumer is spending the entire income on consuming good 1. So we see that this is the case of boundary optimum where the consumer consumes only one type of good. Now let's look into optimal choice with that of perfect complements. We know that in case of perfect complements, the indifference curves, they are L-shaped, and as a result we clearly cannot apply calculus again here because the indifference curves, they are not smooth. So we simply say that the point which lies on the budget line, that is affordable, and which lies on the highest indifference curve is the point of optimality. So this is the point of optimality. Why? Because if we take any other bundle which is lying on the budget line or which is lying on the budget set anywhere, we take any point here, we can clearly see that all these points, though they are affordable, but they will be lying on a lower indifference curve as compared to this indifference curve. So they all will be lying on a lower indifference curve as compared to that. So all of them are lying on a lower indifference curve. As a result, this is the point of optimality of the consumer. Now we will look into optimal choice with perfect substitutes. Now we know that in case of perfect substitutes, the indifference curves, they are straight lines and downward sloping. Now in this case, we are taking the ratio in which the consumer is substituting good 1 with good 2 to be 1:1. As a result, the indifference curves, they will be having a slope of -1 as indicated here. Now we have the budget line given. Now in case of perfect substitutes, what the consumer will be consuming will depend on the slope of the budget line and the slope of the indifference curve. Now as you can see in this diagram, the slope of the budget line is less as compared to the slope of the indifference curve, which leaves the consumer with consuming only good 1. So this is an optimal choice. Why? Because let's draw some more indifference curves and see. Now this point, let me label it to be A. Now point A is lying on the budget line. Now if you, these are the points, other points that lies on the budget line, and these are the points that are lying in the budget set. Now clearly if we draw other indifference curves, all of them, so the indifference curves, they will look like this, and clearly we will be able to see that all the bundles other than bundle A which are affordable will be lying on a lower indifference curve than the indifference curve on which the bundle A is lying. As a result, bundle A is the point of optimality. However, in this case, the slope of the budget line was less than that of the indifference curve. Now let's look into a case where the slope of the budget line is greater than the slope of the indifference curve. So suppose we have this. Now these are the indifference curves with a slope of -1. Now the slope of the budget line, I'm going to take it to be greater than the slope of the indifference curve. So it will be something like this. So this is the budget line. Now we have to find the point of optimality. Now the question is, will this be the point of optimality? Clearly not. Why? Because if this is the point of optimality, then the indifference curve will look something like this. The indifference curves will look something like this. It will pass through this point, so it will be like this, and we will see that there is a whole portion that is lying on the budget line, which lies to the right of the indifference curve and which will lie on a higher indifference curve. As a result, we say that this is not the point of optimality. So what is the point of optimality in this case? The point of optimality in this case is going to be this, where the consumer is consuming 0 units of good 1 and spending the entire income on consuming good 2, because it will be lying on the highest indifference curve, and that bundle is going to give the consumer the highest utility in comparison to the other bundles which are affordable by the consumer. Now we are going to look into another case of which is of discrete goods. Now in case of discrete goods, it's very interesting to study the optimal choice. Now first let's look into the left panel. Now what's happening in the left panel? The budget line is given and the indifference curves are given. Of course the indifference curves, they are not continuous, because in the case of discrete goods, here the consumer can buy only integer quantities of good 1. Say good 1 is TVs, you cannot buy 1.5 television sets, and as a result the indifference curves, they are not continuous. Now if you look into this diagram, the one on the left, the budget line is given, as you can see. Now the optimal choice is this point. Now why do we say the optimal choice is this point? First, it is affordable, so it can be a point of optimal choice. Now next we should check whether this point will give the maximum utility to the consumer as compared to all other bundles that are affordable by the consumer. Now if you look, these are the points which are affordable by the consumer and those that lie here. So these are the points that are affordable by the consumer. The indifference curve that passed through the point is this, and clearly all these bundles which will be affordable by the consumer are lying to the left of this indifference curve, and as a result they will be lying on a lower indifference curve and thus providing lower utility to the consumer. If you look at the other diagram, now the budget line is given, this is the budget line, and the indifference curves are also drawn. Again we will say that this is the point of optimality in this case. Why? Because first it lies on the budget line and hence it's affordable, and second, all other bundles which are lying, so all other bundles which are lying on the budget line and which are lying in the budget set, all of them lies to the left of the indifference curves on which this point lies. So they are lying to the left of this. As a result, they will be lying on a lower indifference curve as compared to the indifference curve on which bundle A lies, and as a result we say that bundle A is the optimal choice of the consumer. However, you should be able to make a distinction between them. Now if you look at the two diagrams, now the optimal choice in the first diagram is a point where the consumer is consuming 0 units of good 1, whereas optimal choice in case of the second diagram is a point where the consumer is consuming 1 unit of good 1, say 1 television set. Now we conclude from this that the slope of the budget line has a very important role to play in this. We say that if the slope of the budget line is greater, so if the slope of the budget line is greater than the slope of this portion of indifference curve, then the number of units of good 1 that will be consumed will be 0. In this case, as you can see, the slope of the budget line is greater than the slope of this portion of the indifference curve, and as a result the number of units of good 1 consumed is 0. If the slope of the budget line is less than the slope of this portion of indifference curve and is greater than this portion of indifference curve, then the number of units of good 1 that will be consumed will be 1. If the slope of the budget line is less than this portion of the indifference curve as well as this portion of the indifference curve, then the number of units of good 2 that will be consumed will be 2, and so on. So we can see it to be like this. So suppose x-axis, y-axis, and suppose this was the indifference curve, and if the slope of the budget line is less compared to the slope of these two portions of the indifference curve, so it's something like this, then the consumer, so this is it will go somewhere. So basically this will be the point of optimality, and this corresponds to, so this corresponds to 1 and this corresponds to 2. Therefore we say that consumer is consuming 2 units of good one. I'll restate it. If the slope of the budget line is greater than the slope of the first portion of the indifference curve, then the number of units of good one consumed will be 0. If the slope of the budget line is less than the first portion of the indifference curve, but it is greater than the second portion of the indifference curve, then the number of units of good one consumed will be 1. If the slope of the budget line is less than both these portions, the slope of both these portions of the indifference curve, then the number of units of good one consumed is going to be 2. Optimal choice with concave preferences. We say that the preferences of an individual are concave when a consumer prefers extremes to averages. That is, the consumer prefers to spend the entire income on good one and consume 0 units of good two, or consume only good two and spend no portion of his income on good one. So when extremes are preferred to averages, the consumer won't be willing to spend some portion of his income on good one and some portion of his income on good two. Rather, the consumer will either consume only good one or only good two. So extremes are preferred to averages. In this case, the indifference curves will be concave to the origin, as you can see in the diagram. Now, according to a definition of the point of optimality, MRA should be equal to minus P1 by P2 for optimality. So this is the point where MRS, that is the slope of the indifference curve, is equal to minus P1 by P2, which is the slope of the budget line. This is the point of tangency. So this should be the point of optimality. But in this case, this is not so, because the preferences are not convex, they are concave. And as you can clearly see, if we label this point as point A and this indifference curve as point U1, say U1, then there are indifference curves U2, which provides higher utility to the consumer as compared to indifference curve U1, and then there are points on this indifference curve which are affordable. Basically, there is a portion of the budget line, as you can see, this portion and this portion, which are lying to the right of the indifference curve U1. And as a result, we say that though bundle A is, or point A is the point of tangency and is affordable, but it does not lie on the highest indifference curve, and as a result it's not the point of optimality. In this case, the point of optimality is point Z. So this point Z is the point of optimality. Why? Because first, it's affordable, and second, if we take any other point that lies on the budget line and which lies on the budget set, all these points, all these bundles, they are lying to the left of the indifference curve on which this point Z lies. And as a result, when we draw the indifference curves, all of them will be lying on a lower indifference curve and will be providing lower utility to the consumer as compared to the bundle Z, which lies on the highest indifference curve as well as is affordable. And as a result, the optimal choice in this case is point Z, where the consumer consumes only good one and consumes 0 units of good two. And this is in line with the fact that in case of concave preferences, extremes are preferred to averages. However, if we had a budget line like this, so if we had a budget line like this, then point Z will not be the point of optimality, because clearly we have this point which is affordable and which lies on a higher indifference curve as compared to the indifference curve on which point Z lies. So this is a higher indifference curve compared to this indifference curve, and therefore we say that the point of optimality is this point where the consumer is consuming 0 units of good one and is spending the entire income on good two. Therefore, what the consumer will be consuming, whether the consumer will be spending the entire income on good one or whether the consumer will be spending the entire income on good two, will depend upon the slope of the budget line. as you have seen in the diagram. Now let's quickly look into the case of neutral and bands. We know that in case of neutral and band, the indifference curves are as shown in the diagram. In this case, x2 is a neutral good, and in this case, x2 is a bad. Now when we take the case of neutral, the indifference curves, they are vertical lines. Now let's draw the budget lines. So suppose these are the budget, this is the budget line. Now what will be the point of optimality? The point of optimality will be this. Why? Because first, compared to first it is affordable, and second, compared to all other bundles which are lying on the budget line and which are lying in the budget set, all of them will lie to the left of the indifference curve that passed through this bundle. So if you label this bundle as A, the indifference curve that passed through this bundle is lying on, is the highest indifference curve, and all the bundles will be lying to the left of this indifference curve, and as a result we see that the point A is the point of optimality. So when there is a neutral good, the consumer will be the optimal choice will be a point where the consumer consumes 0 units of neutral good and spends the entire income on normal good. That is quite obvious. Similarly, in case of bad, it is quite obvious that the point of optimality will be when the consumer is spending the entire income on a normal good and consuming 0 units of bad, because bad will be providing a disutility to the consumer. And we know that these are the indifference curve. If these are the indifference curves, then the direction of increasing utility is this. So if we take a budget line as this, say this is the budget constraint, then clearly this is the point of optimality, because all other bundles which are lying on the budget line and which are lying in the budget set are lying to the left of the indifference curve in which the point of optimality lies, and therefore we say again that the point A is point of optimality in this case, because it is affordable and it lies on the highest indifference curve. Now again, in the point of optimality, 0 amounts of good 2 is consumed, because here good 2 is a bad, and therefore the consumer will prefer to spend the entire income on a normal good rather than spending some portion of his income on